A stranger at the grocery store grabbed me and yelled, "Those are my kidnapped kids you're raising!" I froze with a box cereal still in my hand. "What? No, these are my daughters," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. She yanked me closer and screamed louder, "Mia! Olivia! It's Mommy! Tell this man to let you go!" My blood went cold because she just said my daughter's names, the exact names. Mia was staring at this woman with huge, confused eyes, and Olivia started crying. I tried to pull away, but the woman's other hand grabbed my cart, blocking me from moving. "I don't know who you are, but you need to let go of me right now," I said, and my voice came out shakier than I wanted. Other shoppers were closing in now, and I heard someone say they were calling the police. An older man in a baseball cap stepped between me and the woman, telling her to calm down, but she shoved past him like he wasn't even there. "Look at them," she screamed, pointing at my daughters with a shaking finger. "That's my Mia with the blonde hair and the birthmark on her left ankle. That's my Olivia with the brown curls and the scar above her right eyebrow from when she fell off the changing table." My stomach dropped because Mia did have a birthmark on her left ankle, and Olivia did have a tiny scar above her eyebrow that my wife Vanessa always said came from bumping into the crib when she was learning to stand. How did this stranger know these things? "Security is coming," the teenage employee announced from somewhere behind me, but the woman didn't seem to care. She was crying now, mascara running down her face in black streaks. "I reported them missing 3 years ago," she said, and her voice broke. "The police said they probably drowned in the lake, but I never believed it. I knew someone took them. I knew it." She reached toward Mia, who shrunk back in the shopping cart and started crying too. I put myself between them, my hands up like I was trying to calm a wild animal. "Listen, there's been a mistake," I said. "My wife gave birth to both of these girls. I was there. I have birth certificates and hospital records and everything." The woman laughed, but it sounded more like choking. "Your wife," she repeated, and the way she said it made my skin crawl like when you lick a battery. "Where is your wife right now?" I hesitated because Vanessa was at home and sent me shopping. "She's at home," I said, and immediately regretted how defensive I sounded. "At home," the woman repeated, and she was nodding like I'd just confirmed something terrible. "And I bet she's the one who told you their names were Mia and Olivia, right? I bet she's the one who knows all about their birthmarks and scars?" Security arrived then. 2 guys in black polo shirts who looked barely older than the teenage employee. They positioned themselves on either side of the woman and asked what was happening. She whirled on them immediately. "This man kidnapped my daughters 3 years ago, and I want them back right now." One of the security guards looked at me with this expression that was half confusion and half suspicion. "Sir, are these your children?" he asked. "Yes, these are my daughters," I said, pulling out my phone. "I can show you pictures, documents, whatever you need." But the woman cut me off. "He'll have fake documents. That's what kidnappers do. They create whole new identities." The security guard held up his hand. "Ma'am, the police are on their way. Let's just wait for them to sort this out." But the woman wasn't listening anymore. She was staring at Olivia with this look of pure anguish. "She doesn't even recognize me," she whispered. "You made her forget her own mother." Mia was crying harder now, calling for me, and I wanted to just grab both girls and run, but I knew that would make me look guilty. So I stood there with my heart pounding, while shoppers formed a wider circle around us, everyone recording on their phones. The police arrived within 5 minutes. 2 officers who immediately took control of the situation. They separated me from the woman, putting her with one officer near the produce section and me with another near the registers. The officer with me asked for my ID, and I handed it over with shaking hands. "Can you tell me what happened here?" he asked, and I explained about reaching for cereal and this woman grabbing me. I told him she somehow knew my daughter's names and details about their bodies that seemed impossible for a stranger to know. "And these are your biological daughters?" he asked. "Yes," I said, then caught myself. "Well, my wife gave birth to them. I adopted them legally when we got married 4 years ago." The officer's pen paused. "So they're not biologically yours?" The way he asked made it sound like an accusation. "No, but I'm their legal father. I have all the paperwork at home." The officer nodded slowly and walked over to confer with his partner. I watched them talk to the woman, who was gesturing wildly and crying. After a few minutes, they came back together. "Sir, this woman claims these children match the description of her daughters who went missing 3 years ago from a lake house in northern Michigan," the first officer said. "She says they disappeared during a family vacation and were never found." My mouth went dry. "That's impossible. My wife had Olivia 4 years ago and Mia 6 years ago. I was there for both births." But even as I said it, doubt crept in because I actually wasn't there for the births. Vanessa had both girls before we met. She'd been a single mom when we started dating 5 years ago, and I'd fallen in love with her and the girls as a package. I'd never questioned their origin because why would I? "Can you prove you were there for the births?" the second officer asked, and that's when things got out of control. Full story is linked below or on my channel.